The Chicago Bulls are now 6-9 on the season after beating the lowly Detroit Pistons yesterday. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Chicago Bulls trending towards a crucial decision. We all know I'm going to let y'all know what that decision is. You might have an idea, but before we talk about it and break it all down, you already know. You got to hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. If you're tuned in with me for the first time, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And for my family members that's returning, welcome back to the show. Now, before we get into today's topic, I want to let you all know that Chicago Bulls fandom, we have lost one of our own. That's Bob Love, former Chicago Bull. So we want to send condolences and prayers off to his family because y'all already know we already stress enough dealing with Chicago sports. So when we lose one of our own, whether we know him or not, we send the prayers and the love to their family for the sake of Chicago because the sports teams keep hurting us. But that ain't on today's topic. We coming off a win for your Chicago Bulls. So we going to lead and have some positivity today, at least a little bit after what has transpired before last night's victory. So the Chicago Bulls, they went up against the lowly Detroit Pistons yesterday, and man, did the Chicago Bulls show up. Did the Chicago Bulls show up? We look at the game that they played the night before versus the Houston Rockets, and we seen how the Chicago Bulls just look lackadaisical to the point to where I turned the game off early. Now, you might be wondering why there wasn't a live call. It's because my man C-Dub, he's sick. He got the cooties. So send your well wishes and your prayers to C-Dub and hope that he gets back ASAP, hopefully for tomorrow night's game versus the New York Knicks. No, excuse me, versus the Milwaukee Bucks on tomorrow's game. We're going to hope C-Dub get better. But yesterday, it was a hell of a game to watch from your Chicago Bulls. Kobe White went off. Zach LaVine went off. Nikola Vucevic went off. Kobe White, 5 for 10 from the three. 50%, y'all. Do the quick math. Zach LaVine, 7 to 14 from three. Do the quick math, y'all. 50%. Nikola Vucevic, 7 to 8. This might not be that quick for some of y'all out there, but that's 75% from the three. This trio of the players we just mentioned in Kobe White, Nikola Vucevic, and Zach LaVine are the first trio in franchise history to each score 25 points each while making while making 5 3-pointers each. That's when you count them up, you got 5, 7, and 6. That's 18 threes from just 3 people. And that for what those guys was able to come out there and do and set that record for the Chicago Bulls franchise, I love it. I love when we are on the right side of the record books, for real. I love when the Chicago sports teams, more specifically my Bears and my Bulls, are on the right side of history. And I know when we talk about what we looked at yesterday and what has transpired with this 6-9 record, we're just playing 15 games on the season, the Chicago Bulls are trending towards a crucial decision. Now, what's the decision? To trade or not to trade? To make changes or not to make changes? To continue to stockpile draft picks or just say we're going to keep on pushing and moving on? To protect the top 10 pick or let the top pick go? It's a lot of decisions that the Chicago Bulls got to come to terms with very, very soon. And it's coming faster than what we thought. I know it's a lot when people going to say, well, they have a 6-9 record. I don't think that matters. We talking about Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. Zach LaVine's situation. Nobody really wanted him. The Bulls literally seemed like they was trying to give him away for pennies on the dollar. People came out, said, nah, we don't want him, gang. We don't really like the contract. Is he healthy? Is he going to be able to fit in with my team? Is he still an all-star caliber player? Those were some of the questions that came out when it came when it was in regards to Zach LaVine's situation, to the point where a unknown idiot team source came out and said he hasn't won anything. He's not a winner. He's done it his way. Now he has to do it our way. Fine. I ain't mad at it. I'm just mad that the guy didn't put his name on it. I know that's typically doesn't happen. Guys want to remain anonymous for a number of reasons, understandably so. But if you're going to come out there and say something like that, you got to stand on business. You couldn't just you just couldn't tell the newspaper that it was some anonymous GM. Like it had to be an anonymous team source. Yeah. But the situation, we know what it is for Zach LaVine. The situation for Nikola Vucevic. Oh, y'all heard it from me. Y'all know I give my opinion. I state my opinion. I give my predictions. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. I keep it pushing. It is what it is. But I was Nikola Vucevic situation. He was like, get this Bigfoot mofo off my team. Is what I've been saying for the better part of the last 2 years. And this year, quiet. Not even going to hold you. Quiet when it comes to Nikola Vucevic. We talk about the defense. Is it great? No. But Nikola Vucevic is sticking defense this year for the most part. There's still some moments to where you're like, Vooch, it's the pick and roll. Step up, big dog. Deflect the shot, big dog. You big as hell. But we know the situation. And we know that the Bulls were trying to pretty much shop him around as well. And nothing came from fruition from that situation from both of these guys. But what I will say right now, regarding the Chicago Bulls in their situation, yesterday's price is not today's price. And that can go either way when you at the negotiating table. You can say, hey, can you take 20 mil? They say, no, I don't want 20 mil. They go out there and play good. Now you got to pay them 30, 40. Or you can say, hey, we're going to give you 20 mil. And that player can go out there and play like crap. Now that 20 mil is 15, 10 mil. Well, when it looks like price is going up, that's what we talk about when we talk about Zach LaVine. On the season, my man has been spectacular. 50% shooting from the field, 42% shooting from the three, doing what he absolutely has to do. 21 points per game, not really getting in the way of the others, pretty much letting these guys go out and do what they need to do so they could be successful. And he's sticking to his word and not holding back the young guys on this team. Patrick Williams has had every opportunity. Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Dalen Terry has risen up to the guy that Billy Donovan believes. I believe Billy Donovan is starting to trust Dalen Terry. Were we at this moment a year ago, 2 years ago? No. This is a different situation. When we talk about Nikola Vucevic and what he's been doing this season, 20 points, 59% from the field and 48% from the three by giving you about 10 rebounds a night. So double-double, you shooting the ball well, and you starting to defend. Again, ladies and gentlemen, say it with me. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So if the Warriors come back around and y'all think y'all just going to give us Modus, Moody, and Potts, decline. Oh, Sacramento Kings, if you want to revisit the table, we need Keegan Murray now. Maybe that's me being greedy. Maybe that just me being greedy. But I'm just saying, now when you go to the negotiated table, you have evidence that can play in your favor to give you some type of leverage to get a deal that looks like it could be better than what you originally thought. And you got to show some love to these two guys, and Nikola Vucevic and Zach LaVine. They completely changed the team. I'm not just talking about players. I'm talking about play style too. Now let's keep it a buck. Offensive rating, defensive rating, still a little shaky. Still not that great. Still not that good. But we do have some things that we can draw off of. They can say, hey, the Bulls are trending in the right direction. They got to continue to make moves. It's not the end all be all with this roster. But you take some good things away from what they've done already. This team right now is 8th in 3-point shooting percentage, 6th in rebounds, 6th in assists, and 1st in pace. Now, I ain't going to go into the turnovers and the defensive stuff because that can hurt your argument if you go into the negotiating table with some of these players, but that is a team stat. But the whole point is that these two guys are playing their roles to the utmost degree, and you got to show them a little love for that. I know there's still going to be some moments and some thoughts that still say, hey, I still want to get Zach LaVine out of here. Let's go get Cooper Flagg. Let's continue to build this team. Let's go find our superstar. I'm with that. I ain't mad at it. I ain't pushing back on it. That's a good way to view it. But again, me selfishly, I just want to see it stick together a little bit longer. I'm not saying you don't ever have to trade Zach. I'm not saying you don't ever have to get rid of Nikola Vucevic. I'm just saying I want more than 15 games. That's all I'm saying. But right now, it's very, very enticing, especially when you see all the injuries around the league that's happening, players sitting out a lot around the league that's happening. And you look at Nikola Vucevic, how many teams can use a big like Nikola Vucevic right now? How many teams can utilize a guy who literally went into the fourth quarter last night with 8 points and ended with a quarter, as my man C-Dub say? He ended the game with 25, putting pressure on guys' head. And this is not the first occurrence this season to where we've seen Zach LaVine turn it up a notch and be that all-star caliber player that we know he can be. Same thing with Nikola Vucevic. Nikola Vucevic this season, call it how you want, has been the most consistent Chicago Bull. And we could probably argue that for last year. We know what we was going to get out of Nikola Vucevic last year too. But this year is it's a step forward. It's much improved. I don't know if that's coming directly from Billy Donovan. I seen some reports saying that Nikola Vucevic has developed a good relationship with one of the assistant coaches in Wes Unseld. And before last night's performance, they sat down and talked and had a conversation about what the expectation was for this game that they played in yesterday. And Nikola Vucevic answered the call. Now the question is, can he continue to answer the call moving forward? We'll see. But the decision is going to be a tough decision for the Chicago Bulls because right now you're just 3 games under 500. You're hovering around in a decent position in the Eastern Conference. It's still early in the season. Do you really want to protect the top 10 pick? Me personally, I do. That's just me being selfish. But I don't want to purposely tank games. No, this is my only credence. This is my only caveat. I say pull the Dallas Mavericks, damn it. Pull the Dallas Mavericks. Let's go out here. Let's continue to let our young guys get some meaningful reps. Let's not purposely throw any games. We know we're going to shoot ourselves out of some games. We're going to shoot ourselves into some games. We will. But we're going to have to make a decision. We're going to have to make a decision. And I say pull the Dallas Mavericks simply because I'm just saying, build out that culture, and then at the end of the game, if you say, hey, we give our chances to secure the top 10 pick by tanking these last 2 games, tank them. Fuck it. Fuck the play-in. Forget the play-in, y'all. Forget the play-in. I don't want to go to the play-in no more. I ain't even going to lie to you. Maybe the Chicago Bulls finally creak up out of one. I don't know. I just don't want it to be this year. I don't want to go ahead and purposely lose games. I don't want to do that. But I'm saying, if it comes down to that last week of the season, hey, can we get some EJ Liddell in here? I'm just saying, can we get a little bit more Montes Buzelis? Can we see some more Adama Sanogo? You know what I'm saying? Stewart, from the Windy City Bulls. I'm just saying, we can get them a little run, a little closer look. You know what I'm saying? Got NBA teams come up with injuries all the time. I heard, load management. Load management, knee soreness. You can wake up with knee soreness just by hopping out the bed the wrong way. I'm just saying. So hey, y'all let me know if that's a crazy way to think about it. I'm not saying go out here purposely tank, but I am saying protect that top 10 pick. I am saying protect that top 10 pick. I don't see the Chicago Bulls being as bad as a Washington Wizards team right now or anything like that, or those guys that's at the bottom of the league. Those teams will be fighting for a good position. I think the Bulls are a lot more talented than those bottom teams. So the Bulls going to have to just make sure you protect 10. Just protect 10, gang. Protect 10. That's all we need to do. Hashtag protect 10. It's going to be the new slogan moving forward. Moving forward. They got a big matchup coming up against the Bucks, a team that's probably trying to get their lick back, and we're going to see what happens with that. But the Bulls got a crucial decision on their hands, man. How fast should they blow this thing up? That's all I'm saying. How fast do you move Zach LaVine? Does Zach LaVine even want to stay? Is that even a question? We talk about the things on the other side, you know what I'm saying, of what the front offices want. But what if Zach LaVine in the front office is sitting at the table and say, hey, we good. We can work some things out here. We don't know. We don't know. Things change all the time with a multitude of players. You know what I'm saying? And just because Zach LaVine is doing well over here doesn't necessarily mean he'll do well elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? I believe he will, but we seen crazier things. We seen crazier things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those situations where you got to come to the terms of the situation and make a decision. Hey, make a decision. You feel a little bit more better. When would that decision be made? We will find out from the Chicago Bulls coming up in these next few weeks. Is there going to be some type of traction that starts to pick up when it comes to looking at Zach LaVine and trying to trade him? Or are the Bulls completely just off of it? We seen what this front office has done. We seen the front office stick with a team to where it was like, no, we can't do that. I know Mark Eversley came out and told the Chicago Bulls fans it ain't about Zach and Vooch no more. But where the hell has Mark Eversley been? We ain't seen him. I'm just saying. Is it mostly on AK? How does AK feel about Zach LaVine? How does he feel about this team right now? We know that they wanted to change the play style. They've done that. But now what's the decision if the phone rings and somebody wants Nikola Vucevic or somebody wants Zach LaVine? Are you going to raise the price so high to where nobody's like want to do business with you? Or are you going to be a reasonable guy to make sure that both teams are getting what they absolutely want and need? This is never going to go that way. Negotiations. Somebody, I heard from one of the entrepreneur that's out there, pretty much said if both sides don't come from the deal feeling a little ticked off about what they didn't get, then it's a good deal. You know what I'm saying? I know Sam Presti laughing over there at OKC about the Josh Giddey Caruso trade right now, but that's another topic for another day. So let me know your thoughts and everything down below, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know how you feel about that. When will the decision be made? Should the decision be made? Because the Chicago Bulls are trending towards a crucial decision, and it's coming sooner rather than later. Let me know your thoughts and everything down below. Make sure you hit that like button before you get up out of here. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you always see red. And y'all already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace, y'all.
Cognac. Gang.